Story writing. Introduction. We humans are natural storytellers. Stories are actually an essential part of our day-to-day experience. A story is simply narrating a chain of events that are linked by cause and effect. If you think about it, we narrate stories to our friends and family every day. We are constantly narrating incidents. We talk about the people in our lives and we also include dialogues. A story always has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Of course, while we are reading a story, we do not always see these clear-cut divisions. But while writing a story, you should always have a general idea of how you will begin and end a story. Developing a story. Read the given idea in the story and think about how you can use the idea to develop a story. Plan out the outline of the story, including the characters of the story and how they would behave in the given situation. The story should evoke feelings in the reader. The story should include universal emotions such as love, hatred, kindness, compassion, fear, joy, etc., which the reader can easily relate to. Decide upon the characters in the story. Generally, 3 to 5 characters are enough for a short story. Divide the story into 3 parts: the beginning, the middle, and the end. If you find this difficult, just think about how you would start to tell the story, what are the events that would occur, and how the story would end. Make sure that the story is meaningful and it teaches some kind of lesson. Introduce the characters and the setting right away. There is no real need for an introduction. You could directly start narrating the story. Build up the middle. This is where the plot builds up and the reader now knows and understands the characters. Hence, the characters come alive and the reader wants to know what happens next. The story should now deal with the main plot. Bring the story to an end. The issue can be resolved favorably or otherwise, but the reader's curiosity should be satisfied. He should have no doubts or questions left about the story. Use dialogues to make the story more vivid and interesting. However, the dialogues should serve a purpose. They should move the story forward. Use short, simple sentences. Include a variety of sentences such as exclamatory and interrogative sentences. Use phrases and proverbs if possible. Use words that show a link between the previous sentence and the next. These include also, however, in the meantime, the next day, etc. The story must have at least 3 paragraphs. Begin the story with an appropriate title. Specimen. Develop a story based on the line given below. Dash. He had learnt an important lesson from his son. A valuable lesson. Velen was a carpenter who lived with his family in a small village. His father Kupan also lived with him. Kupan was very old and weak and needed people to take care of him. But Velen did not look after his father well. "Here, father, you will only eat this much rice, and don't ask for more," he would say while giving him food in a small earthen plate. Muthu, Velen's son, watched similar scenes every day. He was a kind-hearted kid, for he felt sorry for his grandfather and did not like how his father behaved with his grandpa. One day, Velen brought rice for his father as usual, but poor Kupan felt so weak that he could hardly hold the plate steady. As he tried to take his first morsel, the plate fell down and smashed into pieces. Velen was furious. "Why can't you hold the plate properly?" he roared at his father. "You've broken the plate and wasted the rice. Now stay hungry." In the meantime, Muthu quietly went into his father's room and got out his father's tools. He took a piece of wood and immediately set about to make a plate out of it. His father saw him and was surprised. "What are you doing, Muthu?" he asked. "Oh, father," replied Muthu, "I realize that soon you will also grow old like grandpa. I will then start giving you rice in a small earthen plate. But if the plate breaks, I too will have to scold you, isn't it? So I am making a wooden plate for you. It won't break so easily, and then I won't have to scold you, and you won't have to feel as bad as Grandpa is feeling today." Velen was dumbfounded. With tears in his eyes, he fell at his father's feet, asking for forgiveness. He had learned an important lesson from his son.